Well, hello, and welcome back to another exciting edition of Coffee with Stephen. Well, as you can see, I'm wearing my suit today, and whenever I wear a suit, that can only mean one thing. The law offices of Lieberman and Taormina has successfully gained victory in another case. So, the blog this week is about our court case that we just litigated and got a positive resolution for. A client was directed our way through the National Rifle Association. He had contacted the NRA back in Fairfax, Virginia, and they had given him our name and told him to give us a call. Without getting too in depth into the facts of the case, you can read about that in the blog. He had his weapons taken from him pursuant to an actual operation of law. But when it was time to have them returned, two of his weapons fell outside the scope of what the Department of Justice wanted to allow law-abiding citizens to own. One was a shotgun with two 7-round magazines permanently affixed to it, as per the way it was originally designed. The other one was a Tavor, and a Tavor, for those of you who aren't aware of it, is a bullpup-styled carbine, which effectively the California Department of Justice interprets as being a assault weapon. And as a result of that, it had a bullet button on it. Now, when he purchased both of these weapons, they were perfectly legal. And at the time that the firearms were taken from him, they were perfectly legal to possess. But in returning the firearms to the client, he suddenly ran afoul of what the Department of Justice wanted to allow. So, as you can imagine, he was quite upset. This was his property, and more importantly, this was directly affecting his civil rights. So we took on the case, argued our position in front of a judge in Harbor Court in Orange County, and ultimately prevailed. And last week, we physically got the firearms returned. So it's what we would call a minor victory in the grand scheme of things, but the fact of the matter is, two more firearms have once again been liberated from the state of California and returned to their lawful owner. This is important because every time we have one of these, what I'll call small-scale victories, it creates a paradigm, it creates a program, an understanding that the state is going to be prohibited from engaging in conduct which is unconstitutional. These little victories add up. We need to relish in them. I mean, personally and from a professional standpoint, we're obviously very happy that we were successful for the client, but on a greater level, the reality that we were able to actually help a client regain his lawfully entitled property, one that's protected as far as we're concerned by the Second Amendment, a fundamental right, was extremely rewarding. So anyways, hope you enjoy the blog. As always, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me, Stephen@artemishq.com. Pardon me. And as always, train constantly, train consistently, train with purpose. Thanks for watching, and until next week, thanks for having coffee with me.